Hello there. Well, it's time for another one of these video, vlog, diary, vlogs, semantics. Anyway, it's February 29th, which I did not realize. So I thought it was appropriate to make a video on Leap Day. Novel concept, a novel coronavirus still. So last update it was just above 600 cases in South Korea, but now I believe it's just about 3,000. It was 32 when I got here, so quite a change. As a result, I'm still quarantined, but as you can see, I'm in a new house. I finally got my apartment. It's in Jongwon, and it's very nice, honestly. I'm extremely thankful for the place that I was given and the location where I am. It's a sense of affirmation, I think. So where should I start there? Let's go back. So where's my dinosaur? I'll have to go get him later. Maybe he'll show up. So we were in orientation. The cases increased from 30 to 300 to 600 to 1,200, 1,500. And as I said, it's now 3,000. I'm in Busan province, so there have been a number of outbreaks here, and as a result, everyone from my class who came to this province is under self-quarantine for at least another week, which means I can't work for another week, or really do anything else. So what have I done? Well, not much else. I have been very fortunate in my location and my place, but also with the people that I've been lucky enough to meet here. My incumbent teacher left me a large amount of supplies to kickstart my time here, and we met up on a couple of occasions to kind of have a handover of sorts. He was under no obligation to do that, but it really gave me a great sense of starting. Still, different people, different interactions. Just because I had a lot of help from him doesn't mean that I'll be able to do as good of a job. So I still have a lot of work to do, but I'm excited to get a chance to do it. It'll just be a little bit longer than I thought. And not everybody was so lucky from my class. Some people have had their apartments in bad shape. Some have not had the contracted items in their apartment. Some didn't even know where they were going until they got there. So sympathy for them and an added sense of appreciation for what I was lucky enough to get. I think that ties into some of the concerns and motives I had before coming here. I didn't try to make this change to run away. I didn't make it because it was grass is greener. I didn't come because I like K-pop or something like that. But I just came to challenge myself, and I came with the best mindset that I could have at the time. Obviously, I was and still struggle with that. Oh, you hear this? So we get emergency alerts frequently. They're extremely detailed concerning the locations of patients, or new confirmed cases. Um, I'll come back to that. So, back to my approach to living here. I think because I took my time to come with the right attitude, come for the right reasons. If the dictates of reason be so willing, one could say, I wouldn't want to say reward, but just an affirmation seems to be the most appropriate terminology. So I had another set of emergency alerts, which kind of threw off my train of thought, so we'll just go a different direction here. I spent the last week at orientation really trying to exercise what extroverted skill I've acquired at my previous jobs. And I think that was a positive experience. I was in the middle of developing that mentality or facade, although that seems to have more of a negative connotation. But I was in the middle of developing that during my last video, and I spent the remainder of the time really exercising it. I'm not really sure if it was worthwhile, and I'm not sure if it was attainable or sustainable, but I do believe that it is attainable for me to be wildly extroverted, which is not a skill I previously had, or one that I could feign. So in that sense, it was encouraging, especially with the new social expectance, with the new social environment that I'll be coming into here. I was glad to know that I had built that skill up to such a strong level. Yet another one. Who's on? It's patient 19. I've had so many difficulties and interruptions during this another one during this particular video, but maybe again that's thematic. My thoughts have been continually interrupted by one another. I was worried about people at home. I was worried about myself. I was uncertain about my situation here. I was happy for my house. I was worried for my friends who didn't get as nice of houses. And not so much that it was erratic, it was just incongruence in a sense. You know, one set of happy thoughts and suddenly, off to this one, which I don't necessarily think is a negative thing. It's more so I feel a result of a new energy and a new experience, new stimuli. I thought someone was at the door, and that excitement with being somewhere new, doing something new, along with the added multiplier of this not being a regular vacation like I'm used to. This is a significant life change. Which has also transferred into my artistic yearnings. I am without my normal ability to create. I have no musical instruments aside from an ocarina. Thanks, Alec. And I have no access to my digital workstation because the only thing I lost before my move was the YubiKey for it. So I guess that's a pretty good average. Still, it's caused me to have an abundance of unattainable or unrealized is more accurate, unrealized artistic ideas, which also gives me a backlog. But instead of that being a negative, I think it's encouraging me more to focus on how I can excise that energy or utilize that yearning. Motorbikes. Sometimes you'll hear cats. Once again, I miss my cat, but she seems to be doing so well. Quite happy for her. Regardless, less of a constructed video this time, but perhaps more of a honest train of thought. I would like to go back to one instance I touched on, though, which is the extroversion and the friendships. I was able to float and fit in with any group, which was nice. Everyone that I talked to was kind, and there was a lot of good energy, all things considered, with our lockdown and confined spaces. But I never really felt like I had a group or a person. Not that I necessarily needed it, but an observation of mine was noticing as the groups coalesced into their solar systems of fandoms and planets and interests, I was sort of an interstellar asteroid just kind of passing by. Welcomed, not ejected, but just passing through. And I think that was fun, and that was encouraging, but it was a little bit lonely to have so many friends but not have my friends, you know? Still, as everyone settles into their routines, their new locations, their new schools, at least after this virus runs its course, I feel perhaps those multitude of connections can grow into more organic relationships or friendships or just mutual friendships. So I try to look at that as a positive. And I think that's where I'll end it today. Hopefully you all were able to follow along. I'm not even sure if I was able. Another virus alert. Things are safe here. I'm doing well. And most of the people I talk to are doing well. So I guess it couldn't be much better. See you in the next one.